It is another wonderful time as you join us on the Engender Show, bringing you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, on KAFTAN TV. I am your host for today, Bukola Ogunbeje.
It is Agenda the Clock on KAFTAN TV, your favorite station, reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Confidence Ruben. We'll quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Stay with us.
With our chores, it's almost time for Engendered. Girls, it's time for your favorite program, Engendered. Yeah, Mommy, we're coming right away. Sophia, turn off the gas. What are your fears as a woman? And what are your doubts as a lady? You think you're alone with those thoughts? Then welcome to Engendered, where we'll bring you discuss, interviews, previews, experiences, opinions, and issues relating to the female gender. This is Engendered. Let's be fast with our chores. It's almost time for Engendered. Girls, it's time for your favorite program, Engendered. Yeah, Mommy, we're coming right away. Sophia, turn off the gas. What are your fears as a woman? And what are your doubts as a lady? You think you're alone with those thoughts? Then welcome to Engendered, where we'll bring you discuss, interviews, preview.
Welcome back to the Engender Show, and if you are just joining us, well, you haven't missed much. So we're just about to go into today's wonderful topic. We're going to be talking about social media trends, and you know, it's time to have fun and joke a little bit in the studio today. And you know, discussing the social media trends for today with us is our in-house guest. He goes by the name Bright Chukwuebuhe, and he's a tech journalist. Welcome to the studio again.
Take your flowers for properly pronouncing
exactly.
his name.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Good evening, Bright. It's good to have you join us once again.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since you joined us. Quick, what is your portfolio, tech journalist? Just quickly explain it to us, because I want to know more.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a paparazzi.
Techie.
So, you know, because, you know, the way the world is moving and everything. So, you need to add spice to your journalism. So.
Okay.
But tech journalism is about a journalism how to do, you are in charge of
the tech, you know.
Tech aspects.
Yeah.
You are talking about system, computer accessories, you know about it, you know about ICT.
Right. All right. So that's it for people that want to go into that aspect.
Tech journalism.
You now have another aspect to go into tech journalism. And you know, with the way tech is going on, like is definitely a good area.
And nothing goes on air without the tech journalists.
Exactly, right? Right.
You're welcome.
You're welcome to the Agenda Show. We usually have like a song, but like for months now I've not finished composing it.
Now we are not doing this today.
But it will be all right. Okay. But let me just give you welcome to
Bukola.
You must be a chorister in your church.
She's not.
Enough joking. Let us go straight into the trends for today.
Okay.
So it says here that FG, federal government declares June 6th and June 9th public holidays for Eid al-Adha celebration. That is, in layman terms, Big Salah.
Ileya. Abi? Yoruba people.
Ileya.
So Bright, how is it going to be, your public holiday?
Well, to our Muslim brothers and sisters, it's their season. And it's time. The most important thing is that what we are praying to God is for a peaceful celebration. And to my friends out there, expect me at your doorstep.
You know, I like celebrations in Nigeria, basically because of the fact that, you know, it's such a giving time. People give. And most importantly, people give food. And in this economy right now, people are hungry, and I think it's a good time, you know, for the spirit of sharing and giving and kindness to be out there.
But have you noticed that the prices of things in the market has skyrocketed?
God.
I mean, a Muslim friend of mine went to the market to price, you know, ram. Just small ram, Bukola, Bright, 400k.
Oh my God.
Small ram. So what happened to the big rams or big cows? You know, some people like, you know.
Used cows. You know that, like, I think it was on the news yesterday, the traders are complaining that there's low patronage. And one of them said that one person had to buy goats instead of ram.
Right. As an alternative, because the price of ram is too high. Too high.
What I would say in this is that whatever your budget can carry, can you please go for it? This is just after how many days the celebration is over and you are back to face your family, back to face your reality. So, but I think the Muslim thing, I think is that ram that makes it so special.
Exactly.
So,
the killing of your ram.
But in a situation whereby it's not everybody that can afford that amount of money to get a ram of 400k. There's one of 1 million naira. So it depends.
The increment is quite much, because according to the news yesterday, it went from 200,000 naira to 700,000 naira. That's
today
on the average.
Okay, on the
average ram, like average ram usually is like 200, but now I said they are buying per ram 700. That is much.
And before tomorrow, it will still
increase. And you know, in Nigeria, any celebratory, you know, season
for
cash
like
out. That.
Nigerians are opportunists at the core.
And we are the one doing ourselves.
And that's so bad.
We are our problem. We are our problem. Because tell me why you buy something for 100 naira and you decide to sell it 500 naira because you are in a festive period. Overgain. And we keep calling government this, government that.
Funny enough, they will call it a smart move.
Yes, smart.
To make money.
Smart.
It's all right. Okay, let's move away from there now. This is coming from the SSA to President Tinubu. He said development and prosperity. It took Singapore 35 years, India 50 years. Now he is calling for Nigerians to have patience, you know, to be patient with President Tinubu. My question is, if it took Singapore 35 years to become developed, you know, to get to the level where they are now, then India 50 years. So I'm asking the SSA, how many years will it take Nigeria to get to that level?
The thing is, like, we like to compare.
The comparison is something else entirely.
No, first of all, what do you think about this?
I don't know why when it comes to national matter, our government likes to refer us with other countries. especially with foreigners. I don't know why. Same way when there was minimum wage, they say, outside country, the US does this, US, they will always compare us. But they've never sat down and asked themselves, this country that we compare our citizens with, they actually pay their citizens. Do they pay their citizens? Okay. This country, they actually use the tax of their citizens to develop the country. Do they actually do that in their own country? So imagine this is how you know, there's always an excuse for failure. Okay. This is that just thing. So for him to come out and say that, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in as much as the damage in this country is much. But this is not the right time to tell Nigerians such a story. To be patient. Because you and I know that there is money in this country.
Nigeria is how many years now?
Nigeria is
well, 60 something, right? And they are telling us to still be patient. To give our leaders more.
You should give them extra 30 years.
Right.
So that's so bad.
The thing is, it can't even be compared. These countries you are comparing us to are on some level. Nigeria is a secular state. It's a secular nation. We are multi-everything, multi-ethnic, multi-language. First of all, how do you manage that whole situation?
Exactly.
This government, is he here for us or here for him? Like, look, you're comparing to Asian countries where, I will not say most of them, but in some of them, they only practice maybe 1 or 2 party system. Exactly. And you come down to Nigeria where it's multi-party system.
Different political parties.
You have AA, you have AB, you have AZ. I'm sorry.
Different ideologies, different policies, different rules.
More is coming.
More.
Exactly.
Before 20, you see more, you see a new party emerging.
It's always a funny moment for election. You just see AB. We just have to laugh about this issue because
I'll be asking myself, like, when did this political party emerge?
You know, actually, when during my service here, that was during election time, and when I went to polling units and went to vote, because as a core member, I was part of the ACDOC staff. So when I saw the party on the ballot paper, I begin to ask myself, when did this one came into existence?
Exactly.
This one came into existence? Like, different parties. At the end of the day, you will be asking yourself, now, who are you going to vote and vote for? Who are you going to vote for? So I think the time has come for us to adopt the system of 1 or 2 party system. Right? Let's know where our problem is coming from.
So we are dealing with.
So the whole thing is not making sense.
In Nigeria, does it not even seem like we're practicing 2 party system? Because it's either PDP or APC.
That's true.
Labour Party tried to insert themselves in there, but
no way.
It didn't work. So this we in a country that seemingly has a lot of parties that should have, you know, the leverage to go up there and change some things, but no, we still have 2 parties running it.
So the other parties are just there for competition or what?
Exactly.
Spending money unnecessarily. These are resources that are meant to develop the nation. You know how much some of these politicians pump during election?
First of all, to get a ticket is 100 million.
Okay.
That 100 million is enough to send a lot of children to school for scholarship.
And at the end of the day, you lose the election. So that money has gone that. And some people know that they will truly lose that election, but they will still go in there.
I feel like some of them do this for popularity.
Okay.
They just want to be on it will be recorded that I was one time a presidential candidate.
Okay.
So because see, for instance, now, you know, 2027 is not yet here. They already started planning for election. So sometimes I see this government, you see, it's a clear identity that these governments don't have youth hearts. They don't have the citizen at heart. They're just for themselves. They are here to satisfy themselves and do whatever they want to do and get out. You can imagine what the SSA is saying. So
Nigerians to be patient.
Imagine a government, and APC was the one that handed over power to APC. So we presume that the person coming to power must have known the weakness and the problem. So you are coming now to solve a problem. Automatically, you are still telling us that there is still a problem.
And what really baffles me is that with the pressing issues in Nigeria right now, security, food insecurity, what most of our leaders are concerned about is
Is the
2027
about coalition,
election.
how
When
to
some
join
of them
together.
don't
Like,
even know if tomorrow the world will end.
I mean, for instance, what is happening in Benue State is so, but like the massacre, the killings, like sometimes I wonder, is it that these people don't think? And somebody somewhere is sitting down, is thinking about how to collide, how to mesh together to come and pull somebody. Like, and it's uncalled for.
Honestly,
I don't get
the politics in Nigeria is just for the politicians.
Of course.
It's like they all know
the citizens
what they
are not involved.
They are like, and I think we need to get more involved. We do need to get more involved, because it's when we don't get involved enough, it seems like we don't get. And these people are blatant with their lies. They are not even lying like
in a hidden form.
No,
the lie is so obvious, so glaring.
It's so glaring. Like, why? Please treat us like citizens. Okay, you want to lie? Lie. Lie and lie well.
Are you not supporting that they should lie?
No, at least then they won't take us for fools.
Yeah.
Because I remember years ago, someone came to the front of Nigerians and said, a snake swallowed money.
You know, for a minute I was thinking probably it's just a joke. But
snake swallowed money, it was real. And then another person came later, that monkey swallowed money.
In the same country that we are. And most Nigerians believed. And nobody said anything. That was how the matter died down.
I feel like these governments that they just anything they come up with, they know that after some time they shout, everything will cool off.
But because the law is not just
but have you been
effective.
Following the trends? Recently, Nigerians have been trying to hold government, officials, accountable, and it has been working.
And I think that's why they came up with this press briefings, ministerial press briefings.
It has been working. I think if we keep on pressing, if we keep on, holding them accountable at some point, they will have to respond back. Yeah, because true. Why are you not doing your job when you're supposed to?
I don't know if they said what this government hears is protest. And if you ask me, I will say that this country, with the way it's going, I think it's only revolution that can help us to reset back in it.
Did you forget 2020?
You see
NSAS.
You see the killings that happened during the SARS. I don't know how to put it, but Nigerians of then and now is not the same. Everybody is now wise and everybody knows what to do.
Everybody is wise and more beaten down now. I feel like Nigerians are just more beaten down now.
I think there is a movement called, is it Take It Back movement?
Take It Back?
Concerning, is it June 12th, something. But I think some of our leaders or some politicians are trying to beat that down. In fact, they are now against public agitation, protest and all that. And that is the only way Nigerians can voice out.
Oh my God. Some people will say that if Nigeria would be made into a series, it will be unending. Season 100, season 1 million, season 2 million.
And the movie will sell.
Yes, it is crazy.
Okay, we still have another one before we move to the fun part. Now, this one is coming from National Assembly pertaining 2025 budget. So, insertions by the National Assembly in the 2025 budget. Now, this is the fragmentation of the budget. Let's just look for the one that we are concerned with here. Projects. Okay, street lights, that's types of projects, street lights, the frequency 1,477. Now, this is the amount allocated to that project, 393.29 billion naira for street lights. Okay, let's move down. We have road construction and rehabilitation, frequency 1,300. Now, this is the amount, 1.44 trillion naira. Right. Let's even start with the street lights. What's your take on that monetary allocation?
I feel like this government is they're joking with us, and
my God,
I'm really joking with the citizens. And this is just an avenue to stack up money for their election 2027. Right. And that's just the simple truth. They are stacking up money for their 2027 election. Because you can't tell me that you want to use 3.92 billion to install street lights.
That
means even China self has not used that kind of bomb.
Someone said Nigeria will become the light of the world.
Yes.
So, we've gotten to the point where
I want to.
I was really trying to understand this budget allocation.
I want to think that the
I don't know if they
frequency-
feel like Nigerian citizens are fools or something. I don't know. I don't know what they take us as. I don't know. Like sometimes I wonder this.
And there are people who are proving this. The thing is, look at the frequency, look at the amount. Billions of naira.
It is outrageous. Street light.
For light.
It's not transformer. Transformer that we is a street light. Will it work on its own? And it's not going to generate power from somewhere.
Don't forget that last year, that was I think 2023, at the beginning of last year, there was an installation of solar street lights all over the country, all over the states.
The states.
The government released that budget. So are you telling me that those solar lights are no longer working?
Now they want to put street lights.
The thing is, I mean, let us just think about it logically that in Nigeria now,
okay,
as much as we have the metropolitan areas, the busy areas, most areas in Nigeria are rural.
Okay.
So let us try to think maybe they are taking this light to those
the rural
places.
part.
And another thing is, you know, the thing in Nigeria is maintenance. They don't do that.
Okay.
And you also have, see, I'm telling you, this is fact. We all know it. They put street light there for you to see, and some Nigerians will go there and steal it.
Vandalize it.
Vandalism.
So since that's my point here.
Now, when you have a place where they've put street light before and it gets stolen, they have to keep on replacing. Okay, so everywhere, all fooling each other now. Is a country of foolishness.
Let me say something. Let me say, in as much as I'm not supporting the vandalism of anything, but you know what causes all this is poverty.
Poverty.
When people are hungry, they are in the state of desperation to do anything. So, for instance, during the protest, the peaceful protest, and bad governance protest. You see, the people left the protest and started vandalizing the traffic light and everything because they were hungry. They needed to say something. But that aside, since they saw and since they've seen that people vandalize this, what solution? How is the government? Like sometimes I wonder, is it that we don't have budget, we don't have a place for solution to create a solution to a problem, or we keep feeding them. Okay, they stole a street light today. Tomorrow come and mount up a new one.
You cannot even sit down and ask what exactly is the reason behind such acts
are we to put in place to stop this act from happening?
Street lights now is not like a pressing issue. Poverty.
Poverty is there. The thing is, you know, the government is not doing what they're supposed to do, fine. But is removing that street light your problem, really? Is removing the street light your problem? Do you know that somebody can get killed because you remove that street light?
Yeah, this is so dark.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right, and that's what some Nigerians fail to get.
Another thing you also know, not just poverty alone, being educated. No, when you educate people on the right and wrong, they will know what to do. If you tell a child, don't touch this flower, it's going to cause you harm. The child will pick that, and it will register in his or her subconscious. I say, mommy, daddy said, if I touch this, I will get harm. Do you understand? So the parents has already done informal education. They educated the child. So I'm sorry to say this, majority of our northerners are not educated. So, and most of them are on street. Do you understand? These guys don't go to school. So, what measures are the government putting to send these people to school?
Honestly.
Because you don't expect someone that, actually an educated person can't just stand climbing the street and to remove it, because he or she knows this is important to my street. If I remove this, there will be darkness. Do you understand? So, education and poverty I think it's the root cause of this.
But you know, the federal government is not only, as in this responsibility of eradicating poverty and education, is not just their sole responsibility. We individuals, like, you know, NGOs, individuals, groups, can also help the federal government to curb this poverty and,
the thing
education
is,
problem.
education to a certain extent in Nigeria is free.
Now?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, it is. From primary, if you are in Nigeria is not.
Are you saying it's supposed to be free? No. Because right now, I'm not sure.
Education now is, I think, it's a bit expensive compared to then.
The thing is, I'm talking about the fundamental education right here.
Yeah,
you know, the government provides.
Yes.
Nigeria we practice federalism, right?
Yes.
So you have the state under the federal. The state does all these things. I don't know about the north here, but in the west, I have a younger sister that goes to state school. She's paying, you know, minimum, little amount. Now, let's say she's about to get into university. That's where, you know, it gets difficult. So are you telling me that somebody cannot educate themselves to that level? Are you telling me that an SSC holder now does not know that they need street lights?
I'm not sure they know.
Not all of them know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, there is a part for the government to play, but there's also a part for we as the citizens
exactly.
to
That's
play.
what I'm saying.
It's not always on the government. Everything, no. You know that something is wrong. Yes, the country is bad, but two wrongs don't make it right.
That's true.
If we keep on saying it is bad, it is bad, it is bad, then it will just be an eye for an eye something. This country will not be safe.
It gets worse every day.
I think this is where the roles of parents comes into play. But now, talk about the Amajiris on the street. Where are their father? Where is their mother?
Okay.
Honestly, that one is topic for another day. Let us move away to let's move away from that. Yes, and now let us move into the more interesting part. Let us leave Nigeria issues, because if we keep on talking about this,
we will live here.
Endless.
We will live here.
It will be endless. So now you're one of the weird people. First of all, let me quickly say, Aki and Popo. Aki and Popo. Okay, somebody came online and said that. And said that. The real ones know Popo was the one with the top tier acting that carried both of them. So is that true for you? Like, how do you see that?
Popo is the fair one, right?
Yeah, the Popo is the fair one. Acting is that.
It's Popo.
Oh my God! How are you?
I tell you, my stickers, I think it's Popo.
Oh my God! The thing is that I can totally relate to this. You know, I felt like Popo was doing more, but when I went through the comment and people were like, oh, they both played their part, because Popo was more impulsive.
It's very funny.
It was more crazy with the ideas, and Aki was just so more down to it.
Yeah.
If you do that, Papa will beat us. you know. I think they complimented each other so well. Yeah, but it just seemed like Popo shone more. Like it was just more troublesome, more everything.
Popo is like the most stubborn. Like he will not agree. In fact, when he presents a situation that looks impossible, he will tell you that it's possible. Meanwhile, it's not possible.
My God! Honestly,
so he's the most funniest one.
Say, don't look back to don't look back and say, oh, the old days were good or stuff like that. It's better to look forward, but honestly,
sometimes you have to take a look back.
You know, those times when there was no social media, everybody was just sitting there in front of the TV watching Aki and Popo. We could all relate as a country.
These guys are legends. They made our childhood.
Of course.
Fun.
Honestly.
Made it fun. Honestly, because it's not like they made it fun. Honestly, just like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry is for the outside country. Why Nigeria is Aki and Popo?
So like they made. Imagine when they say what movie? Aki and Popo movie.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I remember. Is it Dorcas? Dorcas is the queen. My God, this is nostalgia. Like it's just coming back.
Whatever we are saying, I don't think Gen Z they understand.
They can't relate.
I think they watched the recent Aki and Popo, but
now the way they are acting, you can't come. It's not that funny like that.
You know, they were just there. They were doing. It was so
funny.
I think those two people should get like a lifetime achievement prize, like abroad where they give, I think, comedians. Chiwetel
Sophia.
Sophia, that red cap man. Do you remember the red cap movie? That is the red cap on your head. That means you're about to die. God, it was just a moment.
They really made Nollywood.
Interesting. It makes sense. People, you don't know what you're
they have no idea.
No, honestly, if you ask me, I would say those period, the Nollywood movie of them was, I didn't know it was fun. It was educating, unlike what we are seeing now.
No, then we have Pete Edochie.
Now what we see, the king later married the maid. And the queen later fall in love with the gate man. Like so many, so unnecessary movie that you don't even.
I saw the movies with the title alone. You already know what the movie is talking about. So I don't even waste my time watching it. But back then, in Hollywood back then, the title alone was like, I really need to know what happened in this movie.
When they say living in bondage, you say living in bondage.
How?
I need to
honestly,
watch it. So movies was making and
honestly, I prefer like old
Nollywood then, but now I don't really know what they're acting.
I don't really watch Nollywood.
Now the king is falling in love with him.
Okay, that was just
the intro
right there. So let us go on a quick break. We will be right back, and stay tuned.
In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching you live from the Abuja studios.
On The Punch for this morning. The Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical...
Please, girls, let's be fast with our chores. It's almost time for Engendered. Girls, it's time for your favorite program, Engendered. Yeah, Mommy, we're coming right away. Sophia, turn off the gas. What are your fears as a woman? And what are your doubts as a lady? You think you're alone with those thoughts? Then welcome to Engendered, where we bring you discuss, interviews, previews, experiences, opinions, and issues relating to the female gender. This is Engendered. Let's be fast with our chores. It's almost time for Engendered.
Welcome back, esteemed viewers. If you're just joining us, well, you haven't missed that much because we are still in the fun part of the show. We are discussing trending issues on the social media space. All right, so now let's take this. This has to do with Christendom, Christianity. Right. 200 pastors have been fired by a church in Nigeria for not meeting their financial targets. 200 pastors.
Did they by chance say the church?
No, they didn't say the church. They didn't mention the church.
We really need to know the church. I will point fingers and say shame.
So, what's your take on this? I mean, I don't know what Christendom these days is turning into. What's your take on this?
First of all, I would say I'm disappointed. I'm actually disappointed.
Okay.
The church started missing it when they start aligning themselves with the pattern of the world.
Trends, right?
So this is imagine sacking pastors, like you sack them, like what? In as much as that, I still blame people that they sack, because in a situation whereby I saw something, I saw an offer on social media. That was last month. I saw whereby somebody put a paper portal, created just the same way people send out an advert for job. They say, we are hiring pastors. You must have this qualification. So I saw it. I said, wow. So it has now gotten to the point whereby people now, the same way people look for job, people now look for job
in the house of God.
People now look for job in the house of God. So peradventure, this might what have happened, and they now gave them target just the same way they gave real estate people targets.
Or bankers.
To go and get bankers targets, to go and get customers, to go and get clients,
to go and get members.
To go and get members. So, but it's bad. It's bad. You see, the matters of the Christendom is sometimes when I begin to talk about it, it's demoralized me, because I've sat down and read the book of Acts of Apostles, and I've read how the apostles were working together, how they were doing things in common.
In harmony.
Like if you observe the life of Peter, John, how they did things, even at a point, there was a point whereby the contribution team was trying to become a problem. You say, we can't be doing ministry of the tables. We need to dedicate matters. That was why they appointed Stephen. They said this appointment, 7 men of honest reports. That was when they appointed Stephen and 7 others. And they became in charge. The Bible said, and men will sell their land, bring to the church, and share. They say nobody was lacking. Nobody was lacking. It's in the Bible. You know, the truth is that people don't read their Bible again. You see, nobody was lacking. Now, fast forward to your present. How many persons can sell their things? You see, if possible, this one will want to hold in his wealth.
Generational wealth.
Let it be that it's me that pastors know. And pastors too. I'm also blaming pastors too. Because pastors are fond of, when they see that you are now, you are the one that sowed the highest seed, you become the son. That's my son. That's my spiritual son.
That's true.
You know, out my life, I grew up in church. I worked in church. I served in church. And I've seen things.
You've seen it,
I've seen things. And it's bad.
It is.
It's bad. It says nobody, the Bible says, do not give people favoritism. Everybody should be equal.
Equal.
You don't dedicate people. You don't because this person gives you 1 million seed doesn't mean the person that gives you 10,000 naira seed is not useful. It might be what he has, might be the last coin that the person has that he brought to you. So now you are sacking them because they are not meeting target. Maybe you've told them to go and bring souls, people that are supposed to be in another church. You're telling them to go and remove them from the church they are serving to bring them to your own so that they can raise offering for you. That's bad. How we should the church name us?
It
doesn't mention here. It doesn't mention.
Yeah.
These are pastors. I mean, the church or the Christendom, I know, pastors are being called, right? I mean, okay, through visions or they are being ordained. But it's like these ones, they were given employment letter to come and work in the house of God.
But, you know, talking about this employment of pastors, I don't think it's such a far-fetched idea. Yeah, because you have some pastors that might not be spiritually growing in the church where they are. And they might not have the opportunity, you know, to just move and go and open their own church like that, because they don't believe you need to open a new church to start talking about, you know, the things of the Lord.
You're talking about submitting under
something.
No. If that one, this is aside. This is different from what.
This is different from what we were saying. It clearly shows that this particular church is being monetized. The Spirit of God is not in this church. It is not spiritualized.
Maybe every month you get 1 million. So
honestly,
are you getting it?
Honestly,
so is
you can't even see such among the Muslims.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think this, you know, Muslim Christian talk, we should stop comparing ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we should just work on our own faith as Christians, you know. And the thing is, okay, I find it, another thing is the congregation itself needs to start I will not say, okay, yes, you know, the Bible says, you know, you need to submit to your leader and like stuff.
Submit to your authority.
But when they are doing something wrong, you know clearly, they should have people that hold them accountable. They should have people that hold them accountable, and that's why I'm not preaching church, but I don't go to all these warm one-man churches, I don't go there.
Okay.
I'll call them franchise churches. That's what I call them. Franchise churches, because they have there are more ways to hold them accountable there. But in some of all these people that will just wake up today and say they are called, and they'll just open one church and start to drain their congregations.
I feel like what we need now as Christians, we should possess the spirit of discernment. We should be able to know where you are supposed to be. You should be able to know the church you are supposed to be. If you have the spirit of discernment, when you come into a church, you should be able to know, there's something wrong. There's something wrong about this pastor. This is not it.
But that's because we have half-baked Christians everywhere. I'm not a full-baked one myself, but I just know that there are some things that logically, I know, yes, we follow faith, like Nigeria.
Like leave spiritualism aside.
Leave spiritualism aside. Imagine a pastor the other time was selling soap in church. How dare you?
Yeah, this is
spiritual soap. That is the monetary aspect I'm talking about.
Any Christian, you go to a church and the pastor opens their mouth to say they are selling
soap,
something,
anointing oil,
holy
soap, water,
anything, run. Run away from there.
The truth is that when you talk about these things, some of them will come and attack you. But the truth is that from the beginning, it was never so.
It was never.
These things are not meant to be sold. You see, the gift freely have you received, freely
shall you give. They don't, like you said, people don't read their Bible. So let us attribute it to that as well. Let us attribute it to that as well. But Christians need to start doing better. You need to start holding your leaders accountable. I am very, very particular about Christian leaders, because we have you have different types of leaders with their different sort of influences that they have. And you know, in a country that is highly religious like Nigeria, our spiritual leaders have power, a lot more power than a political leader.
That's right.
So they have to be very aware of what they are saying. They need to start holding a lot of, what is KAN doing? What are they doing especially? They need to start holding these people accountable. A pastor cannot come out and be saying trash. Sanction them. You are selling soap, sanction them. Yes. We need to stop following religion blindly at times.
And that's because you see people, someone will just sleep and wake up today that's going to open church. Whether God calls him or not.
They should
he moved from this junction to next church.
They should start to, you know, maybe they should start to add spirit to physical and start to look into all these people. Somebody is spiritual as they can now, they are spiritual leaders.
Of course,
they should be able to discern who the spirits are.
It's not when the leader of the KAN is appointed by the spirits.
Exactly, and not the political way.
So
it's vicious cycle.
The problem
it goes
is from
round.
the top. It runs that from the head. So you see, the issue of Christianity is, in fact, we need the help of God, and we keep saying it, and it doesn't make sense. That's not what the Bible says we should be doing. So we are meant to be out there defending the body of Christ, talking, speaking, so that the other believers whom that is watching, they watch us and see what we do. So when we see Christians, especially pastors, drag, just like I was ashamed. Last 3 weeks, I saw people called the media house and did a protest. And they say they are Christian agitators, that they are not happy the way they are being attacked, Christians are being attacked, they're not happy the way government are being attacked. And they even mentioned the name of the political people that attacked them. I felt ashamed. I say, well, have you gotten to this point whereby you are now fighting for God? So do you understand? It's because we've belittled ourselves to this too.
And because they feel that is the only way they can voice out. That's the only way they can be heard.
So is a fact we need the help of God.
Oh, we need to move away from Christian, because that's another topic that's
for another day.
To keep on going. Somebody said, I don't believe parents love all their there's always a favorite child. So what do you think about that?
Last time I checked my Bible, it was because of the love Jacob had for Joseph, right? That caused issue. But the truth remains that in families, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
I think it's normal.
It happens.
Like
No, it's not in my family. There's no favorite
Are
child.
you serious?
Yes, it's
No.
It
equal.
happens. See, there are.
It's equal.
I don't know how I'll put it. There are bounds between just like
Parents,
first son and mothers.
Yeah.
There are bounds that. I don't know, when you tell them about what their son is, they don't want to know, they don't want to hear. Do you understand? It's just, I think it's natural.
It's natural.
It can't stop.
In my own family,
No, that one you're talking about first son and
it's
a
still
different
part of
thing.
it now.
It's different.
it's still part of it. though.
part of it.
It's to me, I feel it's different.
different.
Like you have a particular child that you favor more.
No.
Yeah.
Normally, a woman, a mother, and the first son, they are close.
It's part of
Same
it.
thing with first daughter. But I'm talking of you having, apart from these two positions,
Yeah.
having
A
a
first-
favorite child that you treat more specially than the other children.
it's
It's
normal.
not in my family.
It's normal. It
Yeah.
happens.
It's not normal because it causes
I think
problem.
it's normal.
Calm down. It causes problem among siblings. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
right.
it does, it
So it's
does.
not normal.
It does.
You love every child equally.
Okay.
The ones you
I
don't
think-
love, the way you love that special one,
Yeah.
feels inadequate, feels inferior, feels
That's-
like my parents actually give that to
I
me.
don't think
it happens.
I know it happens.
but-
I know it happens.
But you know that it happens in family.
Yeah.
And it's not normal. People are saying it's normal.
I
It's
think
not
it's
normal.
normal.
It's
I think it's
natural.
normal.
There
normal.
are
The
some
frequency
things.
of the love. When I'm talking about favorite child, it doesn't mean your parents don't show you love.
It
But
doesn't
like,
get
let me tell you, for instance now, I know that it does cause problem when the parents make it so obvious.
obvious.
It's not obvious these days.
Exactly.
It's obvious these days. Yes.
In my
I'm saying it's not nice.
In my family, we all know that our father's favorite is the last born. See, she will say it's like she has this button. What will you go and tell him? He will shout at you. And what she will tell the same thing. He will take it, so like this,
That's what I'm saying.
That's why
Natural.
you now send that child. Go and tell daddy. Go and tell daddy
okay.
that.
Do you know why David felt so bad about Absalom? We are going scripture now, but this is not it.
Please, let's not go scripture. Please, not talking about purely physical fact.
What I'm saying is necessary. This is natural. You can't stop.
I don't think it's.
I don't support it being normal.
But on the way, it's bad.
Love all child
It's bad, but
equally.
it's good to love all your children.
It goes to an extent, it affects some of these children psychologically.
that's true.
And by the time they get married, they repeat same thing in their
But you
own
know what?
marriage.
I think for parents also, I think it differs. Because a first child for a parent is very, my first child, regardless of what sex the child is. Then the second child is like, please, I don't have energy for you. Then the third child is like, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. Like, I have a neighbor, when she gave birth to her first child, is my first child is my first child that. And the second child was like, move away from me. Not move away from me, but like, I could see that the
affection,
even now she's on her fourth child. The love she has for that first child is still different.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's natural in a way.
You see, sometimes it is based on experience. Maybe when the mother was giving birth to that child, there were some issues or something she passed through. Do you understand? You don't understand. This is natural.
I don't understand. I think we've been there.
Some
I'm
parents,
telling you that based on stories I've heard. You see, when I was giving birth to this child,
it's different.
I passed through a lot.
Yes, I passed through it. Do you understand? So because of that
Said to love that child more. Because the other ones did not pass through a lot.
But I think for some parents, it depends. They love, like, the favoritism depends on, every child has what they are good at.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you understand?
That's right.
So it's like that for some parents. It's not as if they love them, like they love one more. It's just that, you are good at this, I love you for that. Oh, you are good at this, I love you for that. Oh, you are good at this, I love you for that.
There are some that love just one particular child, especially different from the rest.
Honestly, they should.
It's not normal. It's not nice.
I don't know, for siblings that feel left behind because of a child like that, keep on sending that child to the parents so that you will get something fast. Yes, nah. So
let's take the next one. Okay, this one has to do with if someone is asking the question, what is a subtle sign someone isn't a good person? What is that one sign that shows that this particular person is not a good person? And someone gave a response here. He said, if the person has no long-term friendships. What's your own take? What's the sign that indicates the person is not a good person for you?
The person says if the person doesn't have a
long-term friendships.
No, it doesn't. People can decide to cut off people when they discover that these people are not meant for me. Like journey of destiny.
Okay, so to you, what's the sign that shows that this particular person is a good person? What's that sign for you?
In fact, for me, I actually did I did a content on what I'm about to say now. I think it's envy and jealousy. When you notice your friend is envy and is a jealous type, I think
that person is not a good person.
To me, that person is not a good person because someone who is envy can kill you. Somebody who is envy can plot so many things
silently. What's your color?
Honestly, like I'm not somebody that looks so deep at people, except maybe a situation presents itself. I have my friends. As an adult, is it hard for you to make friends right now? It's very hard for me because I have my friends and I don't bother. You want to show your bad side, show. You want to show your good side, show. It's none of my business.
And I choose my circle. I choose my friends.
Honestly,
my friends don't choose me.
I don't think I look so, except if I keep on, yes, I keep on having contact with this person. And the more you have contact with someone, the more you know if they are good or not. So I don't just base it on one thing. No, I don't. I don't look at the surface that way. Yeah, if you know people, you meet people in different situations and different
people kind of disguise.
So
they act like a good person today, tomorrow.
These two boils down to why it's important everybody should have the spirit of discernment. Should be able to discern.
There's not everybody that can, you know, that has that patience to be discerning.
Oh my goodness.
You know, some people
really need patience.
You know, some people, some people just like making friends and you know they are everywhere and you know
very social.
Yeah, you know, they just get into contact with bad people and they get into contact, you know, and at the end of like, why am I?
Anyhow.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think you should just be particular about how you relate to the person. Because sometimes what you see in people is what you don't like in yourself. Do you understand that? Like when you see certain things in people, it's something you don't like in yourself. Like, so you just have to have patience with people, I guess. I'm not looking, whatever you bring to me is how I will treat you. Honestly. Yeah.
All right, let's take us to the last one. I think time is against us here.
This one has to bomb. It's the last one. It has to bomb. Now, my friend has been dating his woman for 3 years. Today he posted a picture of them both and I playfully asked him when he will propose. The guy said, she's not my type for a wife. 3 years.
Let
me not say years. Years.
Another day for you to fear men.
Fear
that gender.
You don't say that.
What, like
3 years?
3 years.
She's not your type. So what have you been doing with her for 3 years?
I feel like men actually know what they want from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the start.
I've heard this a lot.
Yeah, I keep hearing it.
So men actually know what they want. And, you know, you ladies are deep and you guys unfolds your
so men don't unfold.
So you guys are deep, you guys keep unfolding what is inside the trait you guys have. So probably for that 3 years the lady is unfolding what she has in her and the guy couldn't bear it.
But and he's still bearing it.
I'm not trying to support it. Peradventure during their relationship or courtship or whatever, the lady was okay, good. Now the journey has begun. You say no matter how bad you are, you can't hide your character for 3 years. You must definitely show it. 3 years is too you can't hide. So at that point, he's beginning to see some loopholes. Say no, this one. But the fact is that for him not to tell the lady, this is where he's got it.
Please, what do you think about this?
She's not my type for a wife. Okay, she's his type for just dating. Now you said men knows what they want from the onset, right? So from the onset of this relationship, he should have known, should have been able to detect that is why this kind of person.
That is why I say you guys hide your characters. You guys are deep. You keep
yet you still know what you want.
No.
You can't eat your cake and have
That
it
is what
right.
I say. Yeah, maybe that's why I say maybe she was pretending on the initial stage.
Honestly.
Now the journey has taken 3 years and she can't pretend no more.
This this topic.
I think he was just using her to while away time.
You know that I'm not a man, so I cannot say for men, but they keep on saying that they know what they want.
They know what they want, exactly.
You as a woman too know what you want. I'm not preaching relationship, I'm not preaching anything, but I will say this: a year is enough for you to know if you are going to marry somebody or not.
Of course.
A year is too much. Like men, they know what they want.
Let's just give them that year.
Yeah, let's just give you like a year. A year is enough. As a woman, once you get to the 1 year mark, be proactive. Women are not proactive. Be proactive. Ask the man, do you see me as a wife material?
How many yards?
How many yards? Yes, these are discussions that women need to start having. Because by the time you spend 5 years with one person.
What can you do 5 years dating?
I'd rather split the 5 years into 5 people. Because I don't understand why are you stressing yourself so much. Women need to start doing
It's what I'm saying.
They need to start doing
exactly splitting the family into 5 people. This discussion, I don't think we are ready for it.
Honestly, we are not ready for this discussion. So in 1 minute, our time is up. In 1 minute or like 30 seconds, what do you have to tell people, just an advice, people at home that are watching us right now? Okay, in the spirit of a death celebration, I would say this is a moment whereby we share love, and whatever you have, as little as you have, so show love to people, be kind to people, and be security conscious too. A lot of things is happening, and you should be your neighbor's watch eye. Sometimes your neighbor might not know something is happening or so on. So that is why I keep advising people, create relationship with your neighbors. Build good relationship with your neighbors. Yeah, thank you very much, Bright.
Thank you so much. It was nice having you on the show.
Very nice having you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today. And I'm just going to leave you with this. Like Bright has said, be kind, and this is a season of giving. Be kind, be cheerful, and you're not the only one with a problem. You're not the only one with a problem. So be kind to your fellow Nigerian. I remain your wonderful host for today, Bukola Ogungoje.
All right, and I'll leave you with this also. We are in the mood of celebration. So try as much as you can to show love, share whatever you have. Don't be stingy. And to my Muslim friends, I love you this period. I love you so much. Many thanks for joining us on today's episode. I hope you had a swell time. Thank you. My name is Confidence Ruben. Goodbye.
Let's be fast with our chores. It's almost time for Engendered. Girls, it's time for your favorite program, Engendered.
Yeah, Mommy, we're coming right away.
Sophia, turn off the gas. What are your fears as a woman? And what are your doubts as a lady? You think you're alone with those thoughts? Then welcome to Engendered, where we'll bring you discuss, interviews, reviews, experiences, opinions, and issues relating to the female gender. This is Engendered.
station is Exploring Africa.
It was foretold by our ancestors that in times of great conflict, there will be the chosen who will rise to restore harmony to the people and creatures of Yoruba land.
You are the child who was blessed by the first father. That is the prophecy of the chosen.
Warriors, corrupt leopards!
The inners are terrified because the corrupt are becoming bolder, making them even more dangerous. I know what fear can do to people.
All right, if you are with me on the show today, remember you're not losing anything. This is Inside Africa Network on KAFTAN TV. And remember, here we'll bring to you information, entertainment, and education, always at all times on all of our programs. You're welcome to the show today. This is Entertainment Africa. And my name is Bills Victor. I feel like hugging you. I feel like really shaking hands with you right now because a lot of you have been giving me feedbacks, commenting, we've seen you subscribing to our programs, and it is beautiful to always have you on the show today. Thank you so much for being there. You're welcome once again. Today is a movie review. We want to talk about a particular movie. Even though it's an anime, it's what we call a cartoon, it is something you and everybody needs to watch out and check. And in this movie, there's something called chlorokinesis. Chlorokinesis. You really need to want to know what that is. You have to stay here on the show. I'll bring you a very beautiful musical piece as a short break session. And it is by Yemi Alade, and the song is called You Are. And when you come back, we'll talk a little bit more. You're welcome up to the show again.
We are Inside Africa Network.
Inside Africa Network.
Art is live. Director, cut. Sorry, Conti. Is it art is live or creative art is live? Okay, I'm ready now. Creative art is live, and that is all we are about. Come with me. May I introduce you to Kika, Kaftan Idea Box Creative Academy, a modern creative school with the state-of-art equipment. We offer film-making education technology, music education and production, dance and performing arts education, content production and media education, management, leadership and good governance, AI and ICT education. For inquiries, call 0703-084-0298 or visit our social media handles at Kaftan Idea Box Creative Academy. It's Creative Revolution.
You are. Simple child of greatness hidden in your heart. Can you hear the voices calling from the stars? Crying out for a leader, rise up from the clay, growing stronger and stronger. Can you hear them? Can you hear them say? Surprise on the menu, cause you are the child of light. You slay the evil, protect all your people. The darkness can see you're the child of light. You are the source of the remedy. Your energy take us to a better place. In your voice is a melody, your melanin in your face. Your time is now, get on your drum. Star of the morning, you shine so bright. Heaven's reflection, moon of the night, I'm on your side. Save us from danger. You are.
back. You are welcome back to the show. The song you just heard is by Yemi, our own very Yemi Alade, and the song is called You Are. And it was actually made for this particular movie. The movie is an anime. Like I said, it is a cartoon movie, and it is something you will love. Let me talk a little bit about animes, cartoons, and the real life movies we actually act. Growing up, I used to think cartoon movies, animes are actually very simple, very easy to make, until I decided to grow up a little bit about finding out things for myself. And then I could get to find out that animes and cartoons are actually very difficult to produce. It requires sometimes large number of specialists. I mean, hundreds, sometimes 200, sometimes 50, sometimes fewer than that. But it requires specialists to take care of these things technically before we can get our cartoons and animes out. Now, let me give you a little bit short, very short, light breakdown on how these animes are actually made. We have the digital animation, which is the CGI, which is the computer generated images. It is actually images generated by the computer to produce these animations, these cartoons. And we also have the traditional animation, which is done by just drawing with your hands, literally drawing these images with your hands. And this drawing actually requires you to draw them frame by frame. How difficult? Now, you want to make a feature-length cartoon movie, you have to draw these images one by one differently, and these characters in different frames. Now, this is what I mean. If you were going to draw me as a cartoon or make me move as a cartoon, if I was a drawing right now and I want to salute you, you have to draw me in different frames as I raise my hand up to my forehead or up to my nape. Now, this is it. I want to salute you, and you are to draw me as an animation. You have to draw me in different stages, from here, up here, and here. Those 4 different stages. And these drawings are actually placed on a cell. Something called cell, like the celluloids, yeah? It's actually a transparent kind of leather like that, where you snap these images and then you place them on it and then you play them. And then it plays like a movement. It's actually give you an illusion of movements. And it is like 1, 2, 3, 4. I get movements like that. Even though you cannot really see them move as images, you see them move as one image. That is how it is actually made. And then we have the 3D animation software. This is actually software you use to create cartoons, like the Maya, like Autodesk, like Blender, like the software called Toons. They're actually used to create cartoons and animes. We also have Pencil 2D. Pencil 2D is actually drawing these images on the computer and adding effects. You see how difficult it is? It requires specialists, it requires professional technicals to actually make this happen. So wherever you see cartoons, you see animes, appreciate them. Now let's go back to our movie. I told you I was going to talk about chlorokinesis. Chlorokinesis is the ability to control plants, roots, stems, leaves, the soil, and even moss. And this is actually an energy, the power someone has in this movie. The movie is actually about a little girl called Iyanu. Iyanu is actually the name of the movie, which means wonder child. Now, Iyanu is actually a child who's actually blessed, but this blessing actually to some level looked like a curse to her in her community. Now, this community is called Ilu. It is actually a fenced community. The fence has been there for over 500 years, and it is to enclose the people, the last remaining humanity in this enclosed fence. Now, it is because there are some entities, some dark demonic entities that are called fallen ones that actually came to the earth and possessed every animal. Now, possessed them, demonic possession, and made them beasts. Every kind of animal, from the rat, already the snake is already dangerous. So imagine getting possessed by the fallen one, and all of these animals get to attack human beings at all times. So there was a fence surrounding this community, and the only people outside this fence were people who were the outcast, or people who were actually sent out of the community for exile. You get? So they were few people outside this fence, and the whole community was in the fence. Now, Iyanu was this girl who was trying to find out what kind of person she is, what kind of power she has. But because the community thought she was dangerous, community thought she couldn't be among them because of the extraordinary power she has, she was sent outside the community. Now she stays with Olori. Olori is the last priestess who is of the group, of the Ogoni group. She's the last priestess of the Ogoni group, and Iyanu stays with her outside the fence. And Olori was just this person who was helping Iyanu hone these powers, get to find out the powers, get to grow in these powers. Now, one beautiful thing about this movie is that the cast, the food, and everything is really Nigerian, is really African. It is a beautiful piece from Yoruba land that you would really like to enjoy. Now, the movie actually carries Iyanu to some different level where she had to be alone in this forest trying to find herself with Olori. Now, sometimes Olori leaves her in the forest alone. She gets to find things for herself and get to fend for herself. Sometimes she goes into the city to play with the little kids, but then she gets mocked and sent back.
The source, you must master all three.
The chosen cannot reach the source. As long as she breathes, you will always be powerless.
No!
How are we going to get to the source?
To trust each other and work together as a team. Team chosen. Team chosen.
But then, the king of Ilu, which is this community, later died. And when he died, the community went into confusion.